loves, Daddy cares. He protects, He provides. Stay the course through every storm. He's the hero of my life. Show me love, show me care. Please protect, please provide. Stay the course, stay at home. I need a hero in my life. Be the hero of my life.
My name is Samuel Carl Winston Vassell, and I am 66. I know my father. My father's name is Angel Bertram Vassell. I grew up with him. In fact, I was in the room when he passed away in the hospital. I was 21. He was 47, about to get to his 48th birthday. He died on the 25th of November, and he would have been 48 in December, 12th of December. He was a man of God. I'm sure that he influenced me in terms of his approach to ministry, because he was a minister. One big thing is that he integrated the ritual sort of church, ecclesial work with his relationship with people. You know, he was bivocational for a long time, and his work was as a poor relief inspector or a deputy poor relief inspector in Sedlsbeth, which means that poor people and people who had needs was integrated with his work in church. And he has influenced me with that. I have not seen ministry as just involved in spiritual life. I've seen a holistic thing. I mean, he has the reputation of being the person who anybody in the district or anybody in the area could call. A friend of mine tells me that she remembers him taking her mother to the hospital on the birth of her little brother, because that is the way that Brother Vassell lived. He influenced me in that regard. In two areas. Before I was a Christian, I think I was there was wary of him. I was a little sort of not very open to him. And after I was a Christian, he really influenced my teenage years by inviting me to be involved in church. I was already a Sunday school teacher. At 17, I remember leading people to Christ. At 16, there's one of my best friends, Earl Wilson. I remember being, in the vacation Bible school. Earl was a youngster, a boy younger than me. And my father saying, this little fellow wants to be a Christian, and giving me the responsibility to do it. So as a teenager, he really sort of gave me responsibilities that were going to demand of me to be performing at a certain level. My father died when I was 21, so I was just coming into adulthood. And I think that at that time, his influence on me was in his integrity, his consistency, his commitment to the family and commitment to me. Again, I think that at that time, the opportunities he gave me, I remember, going to places with him. In fact, when he was sick and was going to be in that time that went into the hospital and died, he had an assignment to preach in Mandeville at a crusade. And the Monday night when he really got sick, at that time, he was asking me to go in his place. So there was a sense in which he was giving me much more responsibility and took me into his confidence. We were just on the verge of being friends and being able to talk to one another. I overheard him. He didn't know that I heard him talking to somebody about the girl that I had told him about, and how satisfied he was and happy that I was talking to her. So that was good. He didn't know that I heard him, but I heard him. I am proud of his legacy. Years after he has died, there are people who come and talk about the input in their lives. And I'm very proud of being his son, his commitment to excellence, the excellence with which he did things. I mean, I was privileged to be brought up by a person who had, in my view, and I hope this is, common sense. He seemed to have had a good sense of emotional intelligence, and I tell him thanks. I would want to make him know very much that I am so proud of being his son. I am most proud of him in terms of his personal commitment to Christ. I mean, I am less concerned about his secular success and so on. Though I want him to be successful. I want him to be a person that is independent and able to take care of his family and respected in the community. But if he was a millionaire and an atheist, it would break my heart. Absolutely. I would say to my son that above all, be a person with a personal relationship with the Lord and a man of integrity that is reflecting that relationship with God. His commitment to providing, I've always sensed that it is my responsibility to provide for my family. And, there was no debate in that. I think my father influenced me in that he did not force me to do things. For instance, my father was a musician and he taught people to play music by notes, etc., but did not force me to do it. And later on, I sort of wondered if I wouldn't be happy if he had forced me. And I think the same thing has happened with my children. I have expected much of them. I think I got from my father the mantra in their school life, I don't know if they followed it, where we don't do bees. But I hope they were not pressured in the way that I felt pressured by my father. But I think I passed it on. There's a story of me having to help David with his homework to write and one night. And by the time I finished trying to help him to write, he could not do the O that he could do before. He was so terrified. And with due respect, I don't want to, speak evil of the dead, but I think that I got that from Daddy in terms of putting pressure on the people that I mentor in terms of what is expected of them, excellence and so on. What can I say? I try not to pressure, but from one standpoint, I don't say you have. They all know that I wanted them to become lawyers. I have this fascination. They didn't take me on with that. And I didn't sort of force them that thank God for my son-in-law who is a lawyer. The Lord saw that I needed a lawyer in the family. And but they didn't feel like, just like Daddy, he didn't really, force me to do what he wanted me to do, though he had a high sense of expectation. And I think that he obviously has influenced me, because I think that is what I have done with my children.
All right, so I was holding the camera. So now I can actually turn the camera around. One word to describe my dad would be genuine. There's a lot of words, but I think I could use that word. And one thing that taught me, I think you've taught me how to be genuine. I think that's a core characteristic of a good man. I think practicing what you preach, being what you say. There's many things to say, which I've said, but I think one word would be genuine, and I think that's something that he's taught me as well.
I think I've gotten better than my father, because I have now, developed a relationship with my son, which is perhaps it's kind of emotional, but he is perhaps the closest person to me. He's now more than my son, but he's my friend and confidant. And so I thank him for participating today and helping me to do this video. In fact, he held the camera.
The whole time.
The whole time.
All right.
I need a hero in my life. Be the hero of my life.